All right, Shalom. All praises due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS and Shalom to you brothers that's pushing the truth and sincerity. I'm Karatas Bar back on another show. And this show, I'm gonna be focusing on the angels and how they're going to return in these last days in a big way. All right. Because, when you read all throughout the Bible, the angels always made their appearances, okay? And the Most High always had his angels come down and either, for, judgment upon Israel or to protect Israel or to reveal certain things into the prophets, okay? So the angels, was always active. Now, it's not to say that angels are not active today, because, the scriptures speak about the angels. The eyes of the Lord is upon the sinful kingdom and the eyes of the angels. So the angels are always watching this place, okay? And we know that the angels come in those chariots, which are the so-called UFOs. So the angels do make their appearances, but in these last days, the angels are going to, show the power of the Heavenly Father, just as they did back in the ancient times, where the angels, were active, pretty much. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna read some accounts where, the angels, the Most High used the angels to show His power. Okay. And the Most High is going to use the angels in these last days to show that, to show His power when He takes down Babylon, aka America, aka Babylon. All right, the angels are going to get busy in these last days during the time of World War III, and they're going to play a major part into taking this kingdom down. So what I want to do is I want to get the account. Let's go to let's go to the book of 2nd Esdras chapter 10. And this is when, the Most High had the angels help fight with the Maccabees. All right. So this is 2nd Maccabees chapter 10. I'll start from verse 24, and it reads, "Now Timotheus, who the Jews had overcome before, when he had gathered a great multitude of foreign forces and horses out of Asia, not a few," it says, "came as though he would take Jewry by force of arms. But when he drew near, they that were with Maccabeus turned themselves to pray unto the Most High, and sprinkled earth upon their heads, and sprinkled earth upon their heads, and girded their loins with sackcloth, and fell down at the foot of the altar, and besought him to be merciful to them, and to be an enemy to their enemies, and an adversary to their adversaries, as the Lord declareth." Yeah, that's right. So when, Timotheus, okay, and when you read in earlier chapters, he was like a general over, those Ammonites. Okay, so he was coming up against, the Maccabees with a great force. So Maccabeus, he prayed to the Lord. All right, he sought for the Lord and in these times to help him out. Okay, and for the Lord to be an enemy into, these heathens, to their enemies. So let's continue reading. It says, "So after the prayer, they took their weapons and went on further from the city. And when they drew near to their enemies, they kept by themselves. Now the sun being newly risen, they joined both together, the one part having together with their virtue, their refuge also unto the Lord for a pledge, for a pledge of their success and victory. The other side making their rage leader. It says the other side making their rage leader of their battle. But when the battle waxed strong, there appeared unto the enemies from heaven 5 comely men upon horses with bridles of gold, and 2 of them led the Jews. Yeah, that's right. So when they, the Maccabees and, Timotheus and his army were going at it, then the angels appeared. Okay? I read that verse. I read verse 29 again. It says, but when the battle waxed strong, there appeared unto the enemies from heaven 5 comely men upon horses. Yeah, so these 5 comely men, which is talking about angels, all right, upon horses. And the horses represents those chariots, the so-called UFOs. So it says, with bridles of gold, and 2 of them led the Jews, and took Maccabeus betwixt them, and covered him on every side weapons, and kept him safe. Yeah, so the angels protected Maccabeus and his army, protected them against Timotheus and his army. So the angels fought against those heathens, okay, and helped the Maccabees. So it reads, it says, and kept him safe, but shot arrows of lightnings against the enemies, so that being confounded with blindness and full of trouble, they were killed. Yeah, so the angels, they actually came, the Most High sent them down, and to help Maccabeus in his battle. Okay, and those angels shot, it says lightnings, which we know those represents them lasers out of those chariots, okay? And pretty much destroying those heathen nations, destroying those heathens that was fighting in battle against Maccabeus and his army. That reads, and there was slain of footmen 20,000 and 500 and 600 horses. Yeah, man. So, and that's a great number that was slaughtered. Okay, and this is a account where the Most High allowed the angels to come down and fight for Israel at that time. Okay, and I want to get another account where the Most High allowed an angel to come down to fight against these heathens. Let me see if I can find it. He was in the book of Isaiah. Let me see. Go to 2 Kings. I believe it's 19. Let's see. Okay. All right, so and this is when the Assyrians was trying to conquer the southern kingdom, the house of Judah, and the Most High delivered them out of the Assyrians' hands by sending an angel to fight against the Assyrian army. So let's go right to the point. Let's read from 32. So it says, therefore, thus saith, 2 Kings 19:32. Therefore, thus saith the Lord concerning the king of Assyria: he shall not come into the city, nor shoot an arrow there, nor come before it with shield, nor cast a bank against it. Yeah, so so the Most High, pretty much made it be known that the Assyrians were not into into um into taking down the house of Judah. Okay, verse 33. By the way that he came, by the same shall he return, and shall not come into this city. Thus saith the Lord. For I will defend this city to save it for my own sake and for my servant David's sake. And it came to pass that night that the angel of the Lord went out and smote in the camp of the Assyrians 185,000. Yeah, so the Most High had an angel come into the camp of the Assyrians and smote 185,000, men. So it says, and when they arose early in the morning, behold, they were all dead corpses. Yeah, so that was a great slaughter that the Most High had an angel do. All right. So let's continue reading. Verse 36. So Sennacherib, king of Assyria, departed and went and returned and dwelt at Nineveh. And it came to pass as he was worshiping in the house of Nisroch, his god, that Adremelech and Sharezer, his son, smote him with the sword, and they escaped. It says, and they escaped into the land of Armenia, and Esarhaddon, his son, reigned in his stead. Yeah, so so that's the account where the Most High used an angel to deliver Israel. Okay. And it speaks about how the king of Assyria was slain, pretty much by his own men. So this is in the history, all right, in the scriptures, how the Most High, he used those angelic forces in the time of Israel's need. Okay. Now in these times, the Most High, he's going to use those angelic forces again at the time of the end. And we're going to get that. Let's get that in the book of Joel. Joel chapter 2. Actually, Joel 3. Okay. And this is when the Most High's he's going to prepare these nations to fight that final battle, and then which is going to be World War III. And those angels is going to be present. So let's go. Joel 3:9. And it reads, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let the men of war draw near. Let them come. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And that's what these nations are doing. The Most High is putting it in the minds of these nations now to get ready to fight in this third world war. That's why you hear you see all these conflicts throughout the world. You see the conflict between Israel and Iran, okay, and America backing Iran. America backing Israel, Russia backing Iran, and everybody is invested into their military, invested into their weaponry, invested into their missiles. All right, so the Most High is putting it in their minds of these nations to prepare for war. And it says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty one to come down, O Lord. It says, thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Yeah, that's right. And the mighty ones are the angels, okay? Because the angels is going to be present in that Third World War to fight against these nations. Pursuing the Revelations, 12th chapter, and Second Edges, 13th chapter, which we could get those chapters too real quick. Further showing how the angels is going to make a great appearance again. As they did back in the ancient times. So it says, cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Yeah, the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh Shaphat, which means the Most High's judgment. And that's over there in that Middle Eastern region where that ground battle of the Third World War III will be taking place. And that's going to be the place of judgment. So from there, let's go to Revelations chapter 12. Revelation chapter 12, verse 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. Yeah, that's right. So it says there was war in heaven. And it's not talking about, no war in the spiritual realm, okay, as, they like to push. The heaven represents this earth, this rulership, okay, Esau's heaven, all right, the atmosphere. So it says there was war in heaven. And how? Because what? Esau and his military, NATO and the EU, they're going to have their, jets and planes, okay, flying in the sky. And what? You're going to have Michael and the angels, the chariots, the so-called UFOs, okay? The perfect example is that movie Independence Day, which we always reference, because they get that from the scriptures, all right? So it says, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. And we know the dragon is Esau's rulership. Okay, this rebirth Roman Empire. All right. So that's the dragon. So pretty much these UN forces, which is going to be, fighting against the angels in these last days. So it reads, verse 8, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. Yeah, so the dragon and his angels, they prevailed not. Okay? So these jets, these planes, and their missiles is not going to be any match for the angels of Yahweh. Okay? It's not going to be any match for the chariots. Because Michael the archangel, and the rest of the angels, along with Yahweh Shah first and foremost, because Yahweh Shah, he's going to return at that time also, which you're going to read in 2nd Esdras 13. All right? So these armies is not going to be no match for the angels, okay? Because the angels is coming with what? Spiritual power. A power that, Esau cannot harness. All right? So let's go to 2nd Esdras 13 real quick. We're in on this. 2nd Esdras 13, start from 1. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And the sea represents outer space, okay? The waters that are outside of our atmosphere. And those chariots, the force of those chariots is going to be, felt, making a return. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And, Yahweh Shai, he's coming back with the thousands of heavens. All right, the thousands of angels is going to be with him. Okay, Revelations, first chapter, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. All right. Now it reads, and when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen unto him. So it says all the things trembled that were seen unto him. Yeah, because people are gonna be in fear. These nations are gonna be in fear when Yahweh Shah makes his presence with 1,000 angels. Something that was never before seen. The second coming. And so it says, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burnt that heard his voice, like as the earth filleth when it fills the fire. Okay, and we know those, talking about those lasers from those chariots. All right. And after this I beheld, and lo, there were gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. Yeah. So these nations and their armies, okay, they're gonna stop fighting each other, and they're gonna turn their focus on Yahweh Shah and the angels to try to subdue Yahweh Shah. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. But I would have seen the region or place where out the hill was graven, and I could not. Yeah, so Ezra is describing the chariot that Yahweh Shah was in, which was a gigantic ship, okay, which they show you in that movie Independence Day, and all these so-called alien movies. You have these ships come in all different sizes, but then you have that one gigantic ship, okay, and that's how Yahweh Shah's coming in that gigantic ship, okay. And to Ezra, it looked like he was riding upon a mountain, and he was looking for the region where the mountain was removed, but he could not. All right. So it says, and after this I beheld, and lo, verse 8, after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet durst fight. Yeah, so these nations are going to be afraid when Yahweh Shah comes back with those angels. All right, but it say yet durst fight, because the Most High, he's going to harden their hearts to fight against Yahweh Shah. Okay, verse 9, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. Yeah, that's right. So these nations, they're going to be coming with the violence. They're going to be shooting their missiles, shooting their guns at the chariots. All right. But it says, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he casteth out sparks and tempest. Yeah, that's right. And that's talking about those laser beams that concentrated fire shot out of those chariots, okay? Those laser beams, yep. Verse 11, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude neither was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. Yeah. So those angels, Yahweh Shah and the angels, they're gonna vaporize Esau's military. Okay, they're gonna vaporize those men fighting against Yahweh Shah. They're gonna be vaporized. They weapons, they jets, they tanks. Okay, they're gonna be turned to dust and smell of smoke. So, and this is in the near future. We're approaching that time because we are in the brinks of World War III now. So we are in the times where you people are gonna get ready to see the angels in action. All right, get ready to see Yahushua in action. Okay, so all these accounts that you read in the Bible where the angels have taken action, you're getting ready to see these events once again. Okay, so with that, hope you brothers learn something. I'm gonna say all praises due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS, and shalom to the elect. Shalom.